Hey crafters, just popping in with a video today using our new metallic ink pads and using the BetterPress system and one of my plates, a sentiment from Spellbinders. And actually, I think this might be the die or the plate that comes free with the machine. I may be wrong, but either way, it's a very detailed plate. We've got a more solid plate, and then we've also got a sentiment. So I would try all three for you, and I would tell you what I think the best results are. So obviously, I'm going to be using my Platinum 6 today. I'm going to be using the Spellbinders BetterPress and the metallic inks. I will give you a result on black and white cardstock. So I'm just going to bring in my little basket of card. Now this is my ish card. So basically it's slightly smaller than the size intended. So this is A6-ish. So that means it's slightly smaller than A6. And we have other sizes as well, but this is for when you're using your embossing folders, really. So the cardstock fits perfectly inside. But for today, this will be absolutely fine, and I will use some low-tack masking. I've only got my own with me today, but this will absolutely give you an equally good result for what we're looking for today. So I'm going to bring in a few of the pads, as I said. Now, different colours will give you different results, of course, but I find these colours in particular are going to give me quite different variations. So you get to see what different colours really look like. I've got my machine here, so I've got my BetterPress here as well. So I will move some of this out of the way. And I will go through the colours we're using shortly. Let's open that down for you. And here is my BetterPress. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lift this up and I'm going to take one of the pieces of cardstock, and I'll start with the white actually, and I'm going to go into, if I leave it there, you'll see I'm going to go into this kind of corner here. So I'm going to pop that down here, and this isn't to line anything up really, as in, you know, I'm not planning on popping it centrally in the card. This is more of a demonstration video to show you how I think I would use them, how they work, what does work, what doesn't work. But I think it's quite a good insight, really. My masking tape is quite sticky, so I'm not applying too much. So we've got that masking tape down like so. And I'll take the plate away for a minute, and I will bring in one of the BetterPress plates. And I'm actually going to start with the one that's open, which is this floral here. Now, of course, this might go off the page slightly, but I'm really fine with that. And actually, I quite like it when it does go off the page a bit. So I'm trying to work out the best way. I'm going to leave it literally in that position. And I'm going to bring in, because we're on white card, I think I might actually bring in the verdigris. So these pads are very juicy. They have a foam base and they hold a lot of pigment. So when you press down, just give it a little twist, like so. I find this is the easiest way to do this. And just be very gentle how you apply this ink. What we don't want is to over ink and end up with areas that are really, really heavy. You can always go back in because it's your BetterPress, and you can always increase the colour content. Now, what we can also do is add more than one colour to this. I'm not going to do it for the first run, but you can do more than one colour on here and get some really cool effects. So I'm going to place that down like so. Actually, it was that way, wasn't it? That's better. Place that down like so. I think I've covered almost all of it. A little piece off to each corner as overlapped, but that's fine. And we'll run that through. I'll take that out. I'm going to leave the machine there and we'll have a look at this. So just lift this up and you can see now this has inked beautifully. Look at that. And I hope you're catching some of that sheen on there. Sorry, that the camera did move them. So you're going to catch some of the sheen on there. Very, very pretty indeed. So I'll take that one off and we'll do it again, and we'll do it with another colour so you can start to see the different results. Let's take the tape off. and I'll come back and show you all of them afterwards. So actually, we're going to leave that where it is. I'm going to take a piece of tissue. Now, normally I would say wet this, remove this, but I'm going to take off some of this excess ink, and I'm going to show you how this looks when we apply a couple of colours. Now, if you are using a much lighter colour, lift this off and give it a good clean, but just for demonstration purposes, I think we're just going to leave it as is. So I'm going to come in with Love Struck, which is the pink, and I'm going to pop the pink all the way around here. I'm going to come along up here into this flower, and I'm going to kind of hit random areas. I'm not stressing too much where it goes, like so. And then I'm going to bring in the blue, which is called Coastline, and I absolutely adore this. Now, you will contaminate your pad slightly, but don't worry, because you can just wipe the ink off afterwards with a breeze. So I'm going to come across some of these areas, and you'll see in a minute, when we mix in that blue and that pink together, you get a beautiful kind of purple come through. Okay. I think I've covered most areas, but you can obviously spend a lot more time than I am doing. But I think you'll really, really like this result. So again, I need to put my tape back onto my BetterPress. There we go. Let's turn that around, and we're going to go this way. So it's going to be more off this side now. So you're going to have kind of it overhanging quite a bit, and the other side maybe not. But again, as I said, we're just doing this for demonstration purposes. Run that through. Wow. Okay. So let me take this tape off and bring this up and show you. This is just ridiculously stunning. I cannot begin to tell you. So let me, oh, wow. I love this. I love this so much. So I'm going to bring that up for you. So can you see the shimmer starting? So the ink is still wet. There we are. So straight away, you can see the pink and that blue shining beautifully bright. So when we hold it this angle, excuse the camera, it's so sparkly that the camera is actually struggling to keep up. So look at this. Hang on a second. Let's get that. Try to catch that light again. Turn it this way. Let's turn it this way. Hopefully you can see that. Stunning, isn't it? Absolutely stunning. Look at that. Wow. So that is the Coastline and Love Struck. And this one is Verdigris. So if I just tilt both of these, you can see how wonderful they are. So they definitely work on the BetterPress. Now, actually, I'm going to stick with this plate for now, and I'm going to give it a little wipe off again. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe it off with black, and I'm just going to take my ink and just wipe a lot of that off. And actually, you know, I could do a pass on this using just like so. And actually, let's do that. Let's do that, and let's see what happens. Let's see what we get. I've not taped this down. I'm literally going to see if I can get any of that ink onto the card. It might be that it's just stained the plate for now, but let's have a look. Let's see. Again, I know I keep sighing, but there are some beautiful results coming out here. So it's very tricky to see on camera, but in real life, you've got the deboss, and you do have the result, or the remainder of the ink on there, and it is quite pink and blue. But that's really, yeah, that's really going to be cool if you want to add some water to that, mist it. And then what you can absolutely do is kind of get a watercolor look to it almost. So now what I think we'll do is we will come in with, what should we do? We're going to come in with the bronze, and we're going to also come in with the Oh, let's go back with that verdigris, and we'll do these on black card. So let's start with that verdigris. Now, as I said before, I've not cleaned my plate, which is a bit naughty, but it's fine. It's absolutely fine. And I'm actually going to cover this plate with the verdigris. And then obviously I would clean my plates afterwards because I've got some blue over here, some of that coastline. I'm going to add that verdigris, lightly tapping, and then I'm going to add some of the bronze. And again, like I said, if you contaminate your pad, all you need to do is wipe off on a piece of card. So now I'm going to add some of that bronze, and this is going to give us more of a vintage look. I'll pop up here. Don't be too worried about where the ink goes, but hopefully on black card, you should be able to see this. And again, I'm just using that small card or the A6 kind of card. So we're going to get that off the edge look once more. So I'll pop that down like so, run that through. And we haven't even used the other plate yet, the one that's got more solid areas, which you'll find probably works better for black because you've got a lot more of a solid outline. Move some of these out of the way. I keep making that noise and I keep smiling and laughing, but when you see the results for yourself, when you get yours home, you're going to be blown away. You really, really are. So it is just outstandingly beautiful. And the other thing you need to remember about these is when the ink dries, you absolutely get a more detailed result and you get a lot more vibrancy even than you're getting here. So this is going to be stunning if you want a beautiful focal point. If you want to use this as kind of, like I say, off the edge card, if you want to add a frame to it. If I got a little frame here, I think this is too big, but you know, if you have a little frame, and then you pop that inside the frame. There is a lot you can do with this. It's so pretty, so super pretty. But that is using the bronze and the verdigris and mixing them together. Okay, so that's your two colours there. So you can see on black and white card, they work beautifully. And I'm going to take this plate off now. And I will clean up afterwards, but I'm just going to keep going and show you a couple more things. And I'm going to bring in one of my very first BetterPress plates, which I love. These are the Spotlight BetterPress plates, and I love particularly this one here at the front here. And I love it because it's got so much detail in it, and it's a heavy plate. It's really cool. So what you can do with this one, you can bring in lots of different colours, and we'll go, or we've got orange as well. Let's go with orange. We've got Sunshine, Pumpkin, Love Struck, and then we'll come in with Coastline. Okay, so I'll do one at a time, but what I'll do is I'll make sure I put my cardstock down first. So let's take this down. Yet again, I'm not lining plates up. I'm not here to make a card. I'm here just to give you a little insight on what you can do with these plates. So I'm going to turn that. This is such a heavy plate, like so. Now, I think the best thing to do is cover with yellow, and that's Sunshine. So I literally go around like so with that Sunshine. And I'm going to go around the edge as well. And I'm going to keep the area in the middle kind of empty, if that makes sense. Just hardly any ink at all. Now I know I'm very, very dirty around the edge here, but we'll clean that up at the end. And again, I'm going to come in now with the Pumpkin, which is the orange, and we're going to come across the middle here, and we'll add some Pumpkin. So it doesn't matter kind of if it contaminates the top piece, which has got the yellow. So that's your Pumpkin. Then we'll come in with some Love Struck, which is the pink. And I'll kind of overlap that orange, and you'll see there's a lot of colour changing going on here, hopefully. It's a very bright, shimmery ink. So just be aware, the light sometimes doesn't always, you know, give it a good reaction when you're trying to put your ink down, simply because there is so much shimmer coming off of this. It plays havoc with the cameras a little bit. Now, this is quite dark at the bottom here, which is fine. That's what I want. You don't have to use the dark colours at the bottom. You can do yours light to dark to light again. But I love this. Now, again, we're not in the middle. We're probably nowhere near where we need to be. However, this is going to look beautiful. And this is why I like these solid plates sometimes, because you get such a fantastic result. I'm going to move my machine out of the way. And I will lift off and show you. Now that straight away is a beautiful impression. But when I lift this and show you the detail and how well these inks work with your BetterPress plates, I think you'll agree they are beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my camera in. There we go. So I think you can see that as it's drying, we've got the yellow, the pink, the orange, the green. Well, it's not even green, it's coastline, but what it's done, where it's hit the yellow, you have a little bit of green, but you also have the purple as well. So it looks so cool. And of course, there are dies to cut these out as well. Can you see how it reacts with the camera as well? So apologies, but I think you could agree that you do get that super shimmer from it. Okay, so that is a little bit of an insight into how your ink pads work with your BetterPress. So that was using our spotlight frames, and I'll bring in the packaging for that just in case you're interested in those. So this is your BetterPress Spotlight Duo Circles, and you obviously get this one as well, which is really, really cool as well. That gives a great background. So you can create that very, very quickly, very easily. Stunning. Obviously mine is a very dirty die now, or a very dirty plate. And then I created these three backgrounds. So we started on the plain kind of white card, and that is using the verdigris. So the verdigris is very, very pretty. And you can see the shimmer coming through there. There's your verdigris. Then we did a mixture of, I think it was Coastline and Love Struck. And that again gives you that beautiful, beautiful shimmer. Okay. And then the last one I used was, verdigris and bronze. So again, you can see on black card how super pretty they are. So I hope this has given you just a little bit of an insight into how you can use your BetterPress plates with the metallic inks. I have got the birthday sentiments here as well. So I will give you a very quick demonstration just using one of these before I go. But I just wanted you to see like the detail that you can get from these plates. So let's bring in the big happy birthday. And of course my plates and my BetterPress is still very dirty. So please forgive me for that. However, I think you'll agree that they are absolutely beautiful. I'm going to come in and you can see how messy this is. Apologies, I'm not normally a messy crafter, but there was a lot I wanted to get through in a short period of time. Now I will bring in my Mr. bottle and give that a little clean. That's better. And then let's bring that happy birthday. And I'm going to line that like so. So I'm going to line the birthday here, and I will do it on white. So we'll bring in some of that tape again, straight down this side and down here. And I think this time, what should we use now? Let's use, well, there's so many choices. So let's use ultraviolet. So ultraviolet is the gorgeous purple colour. And I'm going to add ultraviolet all over, like so. And again, I twist like that. And what I might do is I might bring in a little bit of coastline just down here and see if we can get kind of a mottled tone. Let's see what happens. So we'll turn that over, bring back our die cutting machine. Quite close now, but that's fine. We can move that out of the way now. Lift this off, and you can see you get that gorgeous, gorgeous happy birthday. Now that needs to dry a little. Once it's dried, you will get the shimmer coming through. However, whilst it's wet, it takes a little while. But you can see they stamp beautifully. They give a lovely, lovely tone. And that is starting to dry a little bit now. You'll see that come through very soon. But that's your ultraviolet and your coastline. So I think that is all I wanted to cover in this short video for you. We have literally shown you how to use, I think, nearly all of the colours, not quite. And you've got your happy birthday, you've got your flower here, and then you've got your flower here in a different colour, and then you've also got it in the black as well. So hopefully that's given you a little insight into what you can do with these wonderful inks, teaming it with the BetterPress, which is an incredible system which absolutely loves our inks. So hopefully that will give you a little bit of inspiration and yeah, a little bit of an insight into how our inks work on the BetterPress.